Hey there, welcome to Rise and Thrive. How's your day shaping up? I know, sometimes life feels like it's just one big grind, but let's pause and think deeper today. At Rise and Thrive, we're all about breaking down those big why questions using first principles thinking, getting to the heart of things to help you live with purpose and joy. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and join me as we explore a topic that's close to many hearts: the pull between everyday stability and the call of something more poetic and distant. Life isn't just about scraping by in the here and now, it's also about poetry and those far off horizons. But in reality, how many of us dare to set aside our daily worries? How many are willing to drop the economic pressures, the desires, the ambitions, and chase what we call poetry and distant places? Poetry out there is the joy from deep within your soul, while the distant horizons are the journey to step beyond the immediate cravings for security. As the brilliant novelist W. Somersault Maugham wrote in The Moon and Sixpence, most people don't become what they want to be, they become what they have to be. The moon represents ideals, while sixpence is harsh reality. And which do you choose? Will you look up and pursue the moon hanging high in the sky, or bow your head to the rice bowls of practicality? The answer varies for each of us. In a previous video from Rise and Thrive, we shared the story of Walden, a true tale of the writer Henry David Thoreau. At 28, he abandoned his promising business prospects to become wealthy in a different way, casting off worldly desires with an axe, building a log cabin in the woods, and living alone by the beautiful Walden Pond. Some who hear this story say living alone like that is selfish. In real life, we have families, spouses, kids, parents, responsibilities piling up. How could anyone live like that? But on the flip side, many draw deep inspiration from Thoreau's Walden Pond life. They realize it's time to live as their true selves in their own rhythm. Seeing these two opposing reactions sparks a question in me. What creates such a divide? And how can each of us live a life that's truly our own without regret? To answer that, let's think about why some chase poetry and distant horizons while others cling to stability. It's all about our inner drive for meaning. In America, we grow up with the American dream: work hard, buy a house, start a family, retire comfortably. But is that dream for everyone? Thoreau's story reminds us that true wealth isn't in bank accounts, it's in simplicity and self-reliance. He spent 2 years at Walden Pond, growing his own food, reading, writing, and reflecting. His book Walden became a cornerstone of American literature, influencing thinkers like Ralph Waldo Emerson and even modern minimalists. Imagine if Thoreau had stayed in his business life. He might have been rich, but would he have been fulfilled? That's the crux. Poetry and distant places symbolize the joy we seek beyond the mundane. It's the thrill of adventure, the spark of creativity, the freedom to explore. But society pushes us towards stability: a steady job, a mortgage, a 401k. And it's not wrong. Those provide security. But what if that security feels like a cage? In today's world, with rising costs and job uncertainty, many Americans feel trapped. A 2023 Gallup poll showed that 60% of workers are disengaged, just going through the motions. Is that living or just surviving? Let's dive deeper into Maugham's The Moon and Sixpence. The story is inspired by Paul Gauguin, the French painter who abandoned his family and career to paint in Tahiti. The moon is the unreachable ideal, the artistic, passionate life. The sixpence is the practical, everyday grind. The protagonist chooses the moon, facing poverty and isolation, but finding profound fulfillment. Maugham asks, can we explain that choice? It's like trying to define love or happiness. They're felt, not analyzed. In American culture, we have our own versions. Think of Kerouac's On the Road, where the open highway represents freedom from convention. Or Steve Jobs, who dropped out of college to follow his passion, saying, stay hungry, stay foolish. But chasing the moon isn't easy. It means risking failure, judgment, loneliness. Thoreau faced criticism for his selfish retreat, but he emerged with insights on simple living that still resonate. In the US, we celebrate entrepreneurs who quit stable jobs to start startups. Think of Jeff Bezos leaving Wall Street to found Amazon. Yet for every success, there are countless failures. A Harvard Business Review study found that 70 to 80% of startups fail, but those founders often say the journey was worth it for the growth and freedom. So, how do we balance the moon and sixpence? First, reflect on what poetry means to you. Is it traveling the world, like backpacking across national parks? Pursuing art, like joining a local writing group? Or simplifying life, like downsizing to a tiny home? Start small, weekend hikes, evening journaling, to taste that distant joy without upending everything. Thoreau didn't abandon society forever. His Walden experiment was 2 years, teaching him and us that less can be more. Second, address the fears. Economic worries are real. In America, student debt averages $30,000 and housing costs soar in cities like San Francisco. But chasing poetry doesn't mean poverty. Many find hybrid paths: remote work allowing travel, side hustles funding passion. Books like The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss inspire Americans to design lives with more freedom. Ferriss quit his high-stress job to travel and write, proving you can have stability and adventure. Third, listen to your inner voice. Society shouts, "settle down," but your heart might whisper, "explore." In a Rise and Thrive survey inspired poll, 45% of millennials were Greg taking more risks in their 20s. Don't let that be you. Try a life audit. List what brings joy versus what drains you. If stability feels empty, it's time to change. Remember Van Gogh, normality is a paved road. It's comfortable to walk, but no flowers grow on it. Expanding on Thoreau's American legacy, his ideas fueled the Transcendentalist movement, emphasizing self-reliance and nature. Emerson, his mentor, wrote in Self-Reliance, "Trust thyself. Every heart vibrates to that iron string." In modern America, this echoes in movements like minimalism, people quitting corporate jobs for van life, documenting on YouTube or TikTok. Take Chris McCandless from Into the Wild. He sought distant poetry in Alaska's wilderness, finding profound solitude, but ultimately tragedy. His story warns, chase dreams wisely, with preparation. Psychologically, this divide stems from our values. Maslow's hierarchy suggests we seek safety before self-actualization, the sixpence before the moon. But once basic needs are met, ignoring higher calls leads to midlife crises. A 2022 APA study found that 40% of Americans feel unfulfilled despite stable lives. Therapy can help. Cognitive behavioral techniques reframe fears, turning "what if I fail" to "what if I thrive?" Let's share a personal story. A friend in New York at 35 left a 6-figure finance job to pursue photography. Friends called it reckless. "You have bills." But she saved for a year, moved to a smaller apartment, and traveled the Southwest capturing stunning landscapes. Now her work's in galleries, and she says, "I was alive, but not living. Now every day's poetry." Her journey? Not easy, lonely nights, financial dips, but rewarding. Like Thoreau, she chose the moon, finding joy and authenticity. What about you? If poetry calls, start with micro-adventures, a weekend road trip to Yellowstone, a poetry class at a community center. Build skills, online courses on Coursera for photography or writing. Network at events like TEDx or local meetups. Financially, aim for financial independence, retire early principles, save 50% of income, invest wisely. Books like Your Money or Your Life by Vicki Robin guide Americans to freedom from the grind. Critics say chasing distant horizons is selfish, ignoring family or responsibilities. But Thoreau argued true self-reliance benefits society. You return wiser, more compassionate. In America, think of Oprah Winfrey. She chased her media dream, overcoming poverty, and now inspires millions. Or J.K. Rowling, writing Harry Potter on welfare. Her distant poetry changed the world. Ultimately, recognition comes from awareness. Success or failure, each defines it differently. Some chase fame and fortune, others seek quiet freedom. Your life's choices stem from your mindset. So how should we live without regrets? As Albert Einstein said, you don't live to meet others' expectations, and others don't live to meet yours. Listen to your heart. Choose what you love. That's the greatest success. Life isn't a narrow path judged by success or failure, good or bad, right or wrong. Everyone has their way, no one can interfere. There's no high or low lifestyle, as long as you love it. Van Gogh said, "In every heart burns a flame. Passers-by see only smoke. Live for your inner flame, not others' smoke. Whether gazing at a starry sky or walking the earth, live your way. If your heart feels no conflict, no struggle, that's enough. Those who chase dreams, they're truly beautiful." I wish you, me, all of us, a wonderful life, living as we desire, fully embracing it. Thanks for listening. If this resonated, share it with someone who needs it. Support Rise and Thrive with a like, subscribe, and bell notification for our latest videos. Thanks again. See you next time.